Jeff the Killer Creepypasta Story. Excerpt from a local newspaper. Ominous unknown killer is still at large. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and barely tells his story.
I had a bad dream, and I woke up in the middle of the night, says the boy. I saw that for some reason, the window was open. Even though I remember it being closed before I went to bed, I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. That's when I had a strange feeling, like someone was watching me.
I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in the little ray of light illuminating between my curtains, were a pair of two eyes. These weren't regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth, a long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there, watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it. A simple phrase, but he said it in a way only a madman could speak.
He said, "Go to sleep."
Ew.
I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled a knife, aiming at my heart. He jumped on the top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked, I punched, I rolled around trying to knock him off of me. That's when my dad busted in. The man threw the knife. It went onto my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors hadn't alerted the police.
Shout out to Dad, bro. He saved us. They drove into the parking lot and ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. I heard a smash, like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. I looked out to see him vanish into the distance. I can tell you one thing. I will never forget that face. Those cold, evil eyes. That psychotic smile. They will never leave my head.
Can we talk about how Jeff the Killer failed to kill a little boy? Like,
Listen,
first thing in
you
the
wouldn't get
story.
it. That kid is strong as hell.
Hey, that dad's a hero.
Dude, he
And then-
Lucky sucks at his knife too.
So, and also, how did he alert the police that fucking fast and have them get to the house in like 30 seconds?
Well, because it's unrealistic and it's a story.
Because of the fucking creepypasta, bro.
Because it's a
You gotta
story.
critique it like you would anything else. All right?
Yeah,
I
'cause
don't
I
care if
mean-
a 12-year-old wrote it.
Police gonna be
You have
pulling
to
up
examine
in like 30 years, maybe. They were camping the window if they knew he was gonna be there or some shit. Like,
Maybe it was a setup. Police are still on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description in this story, please contact your local police department.
Jeff and his family had just moved into a new neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be the best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Jeff and his brother Lou couldn't complain though. A new, better house was not to love. As they were getting unpacked, one of their neighbors came by.
hello, she said. I'm Barbara. Hi, Barbara. I
No,
live
you
across
gotta
the
give her
street
a
from
bitchy
you.
voice. Come on.
Hello, I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and introduce my son. She turns around and calls her son over. Billy, these are our new neighbors. Billy said hi and he ran back to play in his yard.
Well, said Jeff's mom, I'm Margaret, and this is my husband Peter, and my two sons, Jeff and Lou. They introduced themselves, and then Barbara invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. When Jeff and his family were done packing, Jeff went up to his mom.
Why did she have to
Mom,
be a bimbo?
why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid.
I have to. Dude, Cam has to read 2 sentences and I gotta read this big ass paragraph.
Good luck, bro.
Jeff, said his mother, we just moved here. We should show that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now we're going to that party, and that's final. Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything. Whatever his mom said was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at his ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much pain, but a weird feeling. He dismissed it as some random feeling. He heard his mother call him down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it.
He had a weird
Negative
feeling
3.
that felt weird, like a feeling that felt.
What? Yeah, I don't know.
The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there, eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. This time it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but he
Feeling.
once again dismissed it. As he and Lou finished breakfast, they went down to the bus stop.
Feeling
They
still.
sat there waiting for the bus. And then, all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them, only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise. Hey, what the hell?
The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hands. The kid seemed to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He wears an Aeropostale shirt and ripped blue jeans.
Well, well, well. Looks like we got some new meat. Suddenly, 2 other kids appeared. One was super skinny and the other was huge. He was so fucking fat, bro. You wouldn't believe the size of this kid, alright? Since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Over there's Keith. Jeff and Louie looked over to the skinny kid. He had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. And he's Troy. They looked over at the fat kid. Now talk about a tub of lard. This kid looked like he hadn't exercised since he was crawling, alright? This kid was fucking massive. The other guy, he's a fucking dope.
Lord, is something else.
Fucking asshole, bro.
And I, said the first kid, am Randy. Now, for all the kids in this neighborhood, there's a small price for the bus fare, if you catch my drift. Louis stood up, ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes, when one of his friends pulled a knife on him. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I'd hope you'd be more cooperative. But it seems we must do this the hard way. The kid walked up to Lou and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got that feeling again.
What am I
Now it was
feeling?
truly strong. A burning sensation. He stood up, but Lou gestured him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid.
Listen here, you little punk. Give back my bro's wallet or else. Randy put the wallet in his pocket and pulled out his own knife.
You can tell, like, a child wrote this because he went, bro, give me my bro's wallet back. Not like,
Yeah.
give me my brother's wallet. No, give me my bro's wallet. That's my bro.
My bros.
What if he's just like a cool surfboarder, bro?
Bro,
He's
give my
12 and
bro's
he's wearing
wallet
an
back.
Aeropostale shirt and
Yeah.
ripped blue jeans.
Yeah. No. Oh, and what will you do? Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Randy screamed and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He was low-key a badass at 12. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He was that badass. He's basically John Wick at 10 years old. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach and Troy went down. As he fell, he puked all over Louie. Oh, he puked all over. Sorry, bro. Sorry, Louie.
John Wick was
Sorry,
a
Louie.
thing during this time.
I don't know, bro. Louie could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff, because he was that much of a badass.
Jeff, how'd you... was all he said. They saw the bus coming and knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing. Well, so they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Jeff and Lou made it to shore, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Lou just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids. But Jeff knew it was more.
It was a
something
feeling.
Scary. It was a feeling that felt. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was. The urge to just hurt someone.
God, no.
He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help but feel happy. He felt that strange feeling go away and stay away for the entire day of school. Even as he walked home due to the whole thing near the bus stop, and how he would probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore, he felt happy. And when he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said, in a somewhat ominous voice, it was a wonderful day. Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find 2 police officers at the door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look.
Jeff, these officers tell me you attacked 3 kids. That it wasn't a regular fighting. And that they were stabbed. Stabbed, son! Jeff's gaze fell to the floor, showing his mother that it was true.
Mom, they were the ones who pulled the knives on me and Lou.
Son, said one of the cops, we found 3 kids, 2 stabbed, and 1 having bruises on the stomach. And we have the witness proving that you fled the scene. Now, what does that tell us? Jeff knew that it was no use. He could say him and Lou had been attacked, but then there was no proof it was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing, because truth be told they were. So Jeff couldn't defend himself or Lou.
Son, call down your brother. Jeff couldn't do it since it was he who beat up all the kids. Wow, what wording.
Sir, it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Lou tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me. The cop looked at his partner and they both nod.
Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie.
Wait, said Lou. They all looked up to see him holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked them on Lou.
Bro, the cops just decided it's a year in juvie.
Yep,
with
you're
no
going to
charge.
juvie, buddy.
And they see Louis holding up the knife and they just draw their
You're guilty, and we're shooting that kid too. Mom must be freaking
like
the
a
fuck out
dog.
right now.
It was me. I beat up those little punts. Have the marks to prove it. He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises, as if he was in a struggle.
Son, just put the knife down, said the officer. Lou held up the knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked over to the cops.
No, Lou, it was me. I did it. Jeff had tears running down his face.
Huh, poor bro. Trying to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away.
Why is
The
it bro?
police led
Why is it
Lou
always just
out
bro?
to the patrol car.
Poor brother.
Poor
No,
bro.
it's poor bro. Hey, bro does not make him cool, dude. I hate it.
No, he's tough. He's tough.
I hate that so much. I hate seeing bro in writing. Like, no, it's so bad.
Lou, tell them it was me. Tell them. I was the one who beat up those kids. Jeff's mother put her hands on his shoulders.
I think he's low-key jealous that he's getting the credit. Like, he don't even care. He's like, I did it! Don't take my credit! I beat their asses! Jeff, please.
I'm supposed to be in the
had the feeling.
newspapers.
Yeah, you don't. I have the feeling. Jeff, please, you don't have to lie. We know it's Lou. You can stop. Jeff watched helplessly as the cop car speeds off with Lou inside. A few minutes later, Jeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Jeff's face and knowing something was wrong.
Son, what is it? Jeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, Jeff's mother walked his father inside to break the bad news to him as Jeff wept in the driveway. After an hour or so, Jeff walked back into the house, seeing that his parents were both shocked, sad, and disappointed. He couldn't look at them. He couldn't see how they thought of Lou when it was his fault. He just went to sleep, trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days went by, with no word from Lou at JDC. No friends to hang out with. Nothing but sadness and guilt. That is until Saturday, when Jeff is woken up by his mother with a happy, sunshiny face.
Jeff, it's the day, she said as she opens the curtains and let lights flood into the room.
What? What's today? Asked Jeff as he stirs awake.
Why? It's Billy's party. He was now fully awake.
Mom, you're joking, right? You don't expect me to go to some kid's party after... There was a long pause.
Jeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be the thing that brightens up the past days. Now get dressed. Jeff's mother walked out of the room and downstairs to get her ready herself. He fought himself to get up. He picked out a random shirt and pair of jeans and walked downstairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up. His mother in a dress and his father in a suit. He thought, why would they ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party?
Son, is that all you're going to wear? Said Jeff's mom.
Better than wearing too much, he says, his mother pushing down the feeling to yell at him and hid it with a smile.
The feeling.
He gets the feeling too.
Dude, everyone in this family's getting the feeling. I'm just gonna ask,
Where do
and
you
I'm
think he
sorry
gets
if
it
this
from?
spoils anything, but like, does anyone think that Jeff's gonna become the killer?
I mean, I
Is
wouldn't
he
like
gonna
bet
Jeff
on
to
it or
kill me?
anything.
I don't know, guys. I'm not sure. Now, Jeff, we may be overdressed, but this is how you go if you want to make an impression, said his father. Jeff grunted and went back up to his room.
I don't have any fancy clothes, he yelled downstairs.
Just pick out something, called his mother. He looked around in his closet for what he would call fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants he had for special occasions and an undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it, though. He looked around and found only striped and patterned shirts, none of which go to the dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on.
Wow. That's so much better.
No, it's his outfit.
You're wearing that? They both said.
his thing.
His mother looked at her watch. Oh, no time to change. Let's just go, she said as she herded Jeff and his father out the door. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door and it appeared and at it appeared that Barbara. They knocked on the door, and at it appeared that Barbara. Oh God, it's that Barbara.
That Barbara.
Just like his parents, way overdressed. As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids.
What do you mean no time to change if you just walk across the
Yeah,
street?
you're literally walking across the street. Like, that takes 2 fucking seconds. Are you kidding me?
The
Dog,
kids are
this
out
is
in
a
the yard,
creepypasta.
Jeff. How about you go and meet some of them, said Barbara.
Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well be standing in a Toys R Us. Suddenly, a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and hat.
Hey, wanna play?
Good luck, pig.
He said.
No, kid. I'm way too old for this stuff. The kid looked at him with that weird puppy dog face.
Please, said the kid. Fine, said Jeff. He put on the hat and started to pretend shoot at the kids. At first, he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he started to actually have fun. Even get the feeling, one would say. It might not have been super cool, but it was the first time he had done something that took his mind off of Lou. So he played with the kids for a while until he heard a noise. A weird, noisy noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumping over the fence on their skateboards. Jeff jumping over the fence on their skateboards? What the fuck?
You didn't get it, bro. They're that badass.
Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred.
The fucking airtime is crazy.
Listen, they're
I had to,
professional
like, pause for a
skaters.
second.
Hello, Jeff, is it? He said. We have some unfinished business, pal. Jeff saw his bruised nose. I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you. And you get my brother sent to JDC.
Randy got an angry look in his eyes. Oh no, I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today. As he said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Jeff pushed Randy off of him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming, and parents were running out of the house. Troy and Keith both pulled guns out of their pockets.
What?
No
Where
way
are
to
the
interrupt,
kids?
your guts will fly, they said. Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into his shoulder.
Where the fuck are all these kids getting guns? And yeah, they were like stabbed like 2 days ago. How the fuck are they skateboarding again?
I'm assuming this is old-timey America. Kids just had guns, bro.
Old-timey America?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know, bro. I mean, they just sent bro to juvie, so I guess. Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabs his foot and twisted it, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up and walked towards the back of the door. Troy grabbed him.
Need some help? He picks Jeff up by the back of the collar and throws him through the patio door. As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked down to the ground. These are 12-year-olds, by the way.
Yeah, and like the collar, like his hood?
Imagine a 12-year-old boy pits another one up. Need some help? Throws him
By
to the
his
fucking
collar.
patio.
Bro, he had to hit him with the one-liner before he did it. That's crazy.
They're that badass, alright?
As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood.
Come on, Jeff. Fight me, bro. He picks Jeff up from and throws him into the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka on the what? On the counter, smashes the glass over Jeff's head. Dude, what is this party, bro?
Fight! He throws Jeff back into the living room.
Come on, Jeff, look at me. Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood. I was the one who got your brother sent to JDC, and now you're just gonna sit here and let him rot in there for a whole year. You should be ashamed. Jeff starts to get up.
Oh, finally! You stand and fight. Jeff is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face, giving him that feeling. Once again, he gets the strange feeling pockets are there, the one in which he hasn't felt for a while. Finally, he's up, says Randy as he runs at Jeff. That's when it happens. Something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is
I didn't
destroyed.
care anymore.
All rational thinking is gone. All he can do is Jeff the kill.
Oh, fuck.
He grabs Randy and pile drives up to the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight into the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. As
Holy
Randy gasps for breath,
fuck!
Jeff hammers down on him. Punch after punch, blood gushes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath.
Yeah.
and dies.
How fucking
Jeff
strong
killed
is
him
this
with a
kid?
single-
He fucking he punched him. They didn't even like break his fucking ribs or anything. No, he just punched him in the fucking heart, and that was it. It was over. What?
Dude's from anime, bro.
Dude!
He's-
Holy
he's
crap!
tough.
Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids, even Troy and Keith. Although although they easily break their gaze and point their guns at Jeff. Still got their guns, by the way. Jeff sees the guns trained on him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him. Each shot missing. Jeff runs up the stairs. He hears Troy and Keith follow up behind. As they let out their final rounds of bullets, Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs the towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith race in, knives ready.
How much fucking bullets did they shoot and miss if they're having to reload? Holy shit.
I don't know.
Troy swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and on all that's left is Keith. He is more agile than Troy, though, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He dropped the knife and grabbed Jeff by the neck. He pushed him into the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf.
Okay. It was just open up there or what? Just like a tub of bleach. Barbara was cleaning the fucking bathroom before the party.
You can definitely tell it's a kid who wrote it, because only a kid would write a thing to bleach. Like, I know what they mean, but a thing to bleach is so cool.
Like,
It burnt both of them, and they both started to strain.
it couldn't have been like the bottle, you know, like the jug of bleach, because it would have the lid on it. Like, Barbara had to put that shit in a tub, put it up there, because she was cleaning the bathroom, and then she was like, oh shit, I don't have time to do this, I'll do it later. And she put it up there, and these fuck-ass kids just happen to go in that bathroom.
Yeah, that's really unlucky. Jeff wiped his eyes as best as he could. He pulled back the towel rack and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lay there, bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile.
What's so funny? asked Jeff. Keith pulled out a lighter and switched it on. What's funny? He said, is that you're covered in bleach and alcohol. Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the lighter at him. As soon as the flames made contact with him, the flames ignited and the alcohol and the vodka... I fucked that one up. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin.
You're not gonna believe this shit, bro.
Screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out the fire, but it was no use. The alcohol had made him a walking inferno. He ran down the hall and fell down the stairs. Everybody started screaming as they saw Jeff. Now a man on fire, dropped to the ground. A man, nearly dead. The last thing Jeff saw was his mother and his other parents trying to extinguish the flames. That's when he passed out.
Okay, my question is, how the fuck are how the fuck are the police gonna show up in like 0.12 seconds when the kid, like, he's outside the window, but all this shit's going down and they're nowhere to be seen, and no one is doing anything about it?
You think the adults would chase the kids upstairs or something, you know?
No, dude, let them hash it out. Kids will be kids, I guess. And they have guns, by the way, but that's fine.
You're missing the part where they say, no one interrupt her, guts will fly. Clearly they were super scared of their guts flying.
Guts are flying anyway. Like, what do you mean? Guts are flying anyway. Oh my god. When Jeff woke, he had a cast wrapped around his face. He couldn't see anything, but he felt a cast on his shoulder and stitches all over his body. He tried to stand up, but he realized that there was some tube on his arm. When he tried to get up, it fell out, and a nurse rushed in.
I don't think you can get out of bed just yet, she said as she put him back in his bed and reinserted the tube. Jeff sat there, with no vision, no idea of what his surroundings were. Finally, after hours, he heard his mother.
Annie, are you okay? She asked. Jeff couldn't answer, though. His face was covered, and he was unable to speak. Oh, honey, I have great news. After all the witnesses told the police that Randy confessed to trying to attack you, they decided to let Lug go. This made Jeff almost bolt up, stopping halfway, remembering the tube coming out of his arm. He'll be out by tomorrow, and then you two will be able to be together again.
Jeff's mother hugs Jeff and says her goodbyes. The next couple of weeks were those where Jeff was visited by his family. Then came the day where his bandages were removed. His family members were all there to see it, what he would look like. As the doctors unwrapped the bandages from Jeff's face, everyone was on the edge of their seats. They waited until the last bandage holding the cover over his face was almost removed.
Let's hope for the best, said the doctor. He quit. I hope you don't look like shit, son, said the doctor who worked on his
Let's hope your
face.
butt ugly ass face isn't that bad. Let's hope your parents still love you, kid. God.
He quickly pulls the cloth, letting the rest fall from Jeff's face.
Jeff's mother screams at the sight of his ugly bitch-ass face. Lou and Jeff's dad stare awestruck at his face.
What? What happened to my face? Jeff said. He rushed out of the bed and into the bathroom. He looked in the mirror and saw the cause of the distress. His face. It's horrible. His lips were burnt to a deep shade of red. His face was turned into a pure white color, and his hair singed from brown to black. Okay. He slowly put his hand to his face. It had a sort of leathery feel to it now. He looked back at his family, then back at the mirror.
I just wanted to tell you that's a description of a vampire.
I don't know that
His hair
that's how
don't
that
burn off.
works.
It goes.
Yeah, it just went black. Wasn't brown anymore. God.
Jeff, said Lou. It's not that bad. Bro,
Not
that's
that
crazy to say to your burn
bad?
victim.
said Jeff. It's perfect. His family was equally surprised. Jeff started laughing uncontrollably. His parents noticed that his left eye and hands were twitching.
Jeff, are you okay?
Okay, I've never felt more happy. Ha 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 ha. Look at me. This face goes perfectly with me. He couldn't stop laughing. He stroked his face, feeling the feeling, and looking at it in the mirror. What caused this? Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting Randy's wait, what? We're breaking the fourth wall here. Looking at it in the mirror. What caused this? Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind, his sanity snapped. Now he was left as a crazy killing machine. That is, his parents didn't know.
Doctor, said Jeff's mom, is my son, like, straight, you know, in the head?
Straight in the head?
In the head. Is my son all right in the head? She asked with her son right there.
Is he okay? Like, is this normal? Like, as you recall, and the doctor says, as you recall, when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind snapped. Oh yes, this behavior is typical for patients that have been taking very large amounts of painkillers. If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here and we'll give him a psychological test, huh? Advertisements.
Oh, thank you, doctor. Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go.
Jeff looks away from the mirror. His face still formed into a crazy smile. Hey, mama. His mother took him by the shoulder and took him to get his clothes.
This is what came in, said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mom looked down to see the black dress pants and white hoodie her son wore. Now they were clean of blood and now stitched back together. Yeah, the hospital did that. They cared that much to stitch it back together and everything. Jeff's mother led him to the room and made him put his clothes on. He was just naked? He was just naked? Or like in his hospital gown and they didn't like he's in the hospital gown and like his parents didn't bring him new clothes. They like, yeah, we know you're gonna be released today, son. But honestly, just wear those fuck ass clothes that like you almost died in. It's fine.
How the fuck did they not burn?
Well, because they're made of anti-heat fabric. Idiot.
They're made of bullshit material.
Then
Okay.
they left, not knowing this was their final day of life. Holy shit, I left on a fucking monumental moment. What the fuck? What did mommy do?
Later that night, Jeff's mother woke to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as if someone was crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked into the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Jeff had taken a knife and carved a smile into his cheeks.
Jeff, what the fuck are you doing? Asked his mother.
Jeff looked over at his mother. I couldn't keep smiling, Mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever. Jeff's mother noticed his eyes, ringed in black.
Jeff, your eyes. His eyes were seemingly never closing.
I couldn't see my face. I got tired of my eyes started to close. I burned out the eyelids so I could see myself forever. My new face. Jeff's mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going insane. What's wrong, Mommy? Aren't I beautiful?
Yes, son, she said. Yes, you are. Let me go get Daddy so he can see your face. She ran into the room and shook Jeff's dad awake from his sleep. Honey, get the gun. Peter, get the gun. She stopped as if she saw Jeff in the doorway holding a knife.
Mommy, you lied. That's the last thing they hear is Jeff that kills them, rushes them with the knife, getting both of them.
Oh, God.
His brother Lou woke up, startled by some noise. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep, as he was on the border of slumber. He got the strangest feeling that somebody was watching him. He looked up before Jeff's hands covered his mouth. He slowly raised the knife, ready to plunge it into Lou. Lou thrashed, but there was here and there trying to escape Jeff's grip.
Shh, Jeff said, just go to sleep. And that's how it ends?
Dude,
That's how it ends,
I unlocked a new voice for that shit.
That's it?
Jeff the Killer. That's the
He just
creepypasta
Jeff that
got
killed
so famous.
everything?
Yeah. He Jeff that killed all
Can I
over
get
the
a
place.
picture of this kid again?
That was awesome.
That was, yeah, that was something for sure.